To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by PB and Joey. Simple, honest, and delicious. Go to pbandjoey.com for more information. $35 or more gets you free shipping. That's pbandjoey.com for more information. pbandjoey.com. This episode of the podcast is also brought to you by poppycrock.com. All your fake news in bite-sized portions. Go to poppycrock.com for more information. poppycrock.com. Jay here, PositiveSarcasm.com, streaming live from the Spare Parts Studios. Oh, that's right, I'm not streaming live this week due to the wind. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. This is a pre-recorded episode. However, we are recording from the Spare Parts Studios. And these episodes will be uploaded later to YouTube and Facebook. Facebook.com/POSSarcasm, Facebook.com/PositiveSarcasm, and of course the YouTube channel, Positive Sarcasm Podcast. So, you won't see the live stream, at least not this time, and maybe going forward, but these pre-recorded episodes will be uploaded once they are completed and uploaded to the following channels that I just provided to you. Welcome everybody to the Positive Sarcasm Podcast, Sunday Leftovers. You can find me on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. You can find me on Facebook.com/POSSarcasm, and if you just want to be my friend, you can go to Facebook.com/Positive Sarcasm. You can also find me on the TikTok with the TikTards at Positive Sarcasm. And of course, hit me up on my YouTube channels, Positive Sarcasm, Positive Sarcasm Podcast. This is the Sunday Leftovers, so basically more stream thoughts. Okay. Sundays are supposed to be relaxed. And this has been a pretty... I have a mix of thoughts. I have a couple things that I want to review to you. Thankfully, I can get this out in hopefully 20-30 minutes. But these pre-recorded episodes... this is a good place to start. This is a great time to test. I'm doing this a little bit later than I normally do. It's pretty windy out there. The thing is that I try to get my internet fixed, well, more steadily. But because of the fact the wind's out there, I got some bad lines. And they refuse to replace the lines unless they are completely down. And basically their excuse is COVID. That's their excuse. They won't come out and change the lines even though it's completely outside because apparently COVID's in the air. So they won't change the lines, which is fucking great. So I'm going to have to consider going forward until the lines are completely replaced, doing pre-recorded episodes. Thankfully, nobody's going to really miss a beat because I'm still going to get these episodes out on time. Everybody who goes through who downloads the episodes and subscribes to them as a podcast form, they'll still be able to see them per normal. People who want to see the live versions of these, they'll be able to see them up on Facebook and up on YouTube in a better format. And do I mean that? Yeah, I actually do. So they'll be able to see those formats. Nothing really will change for the most part. It's just that they won't be live streamed anymore. So that change has been made, at least for today. Now, the reason why it has me annoyed, I kind of want to... let's get right to it. This lockdown has to end. I'm calling bullshit right now. I am. This thing has to end. It has to come to a close. We are in the peak of it right now. But by early May, this shit has to come to a close. I'm pretty fucking tired of everything I'm reading, everything I'm seeing on the news. Oh, just don't watch the news. I have to get my information somehow, okay? But the problem is am I getting the information? I'm tired of seeing op-eds, opinion pieces, hit pieces, trash articles, fake news, unreliable sources, not real sources, and everything just being designed to blame one person or another. I hate how the news, and I hate how everything is being steered to kind of, is this social distancing or is this social engineering? Are we being designed by the large corporate companies that lobby and pay all these organizations to broadcast the news that they want so they can get what they want? I did an article last week, and I need to start doing this because I have a responsibility to listeners and viewers to kind of really take large businesses to task for the amount of money they charge us on the regular. Now, there are some large companies that do a good job. There are some large companies that do a good job. There are some large companies that pretend to be your friend, but you know aren't. There are some companies out there, large companies, that pretend that kind of are your friend, but also shouldn't be your friend, but are also good companies. Trying to get that out there the best way I can. Then there are the companies that don't pretend to be your friend and don't give a shit about you. They control the market so they can say and do whatever the fuck they please. They charge you a shitload and don't really offer you any services because they're mob. Because they're a mob. And nobody who you get a chance to talk to, whether it would be a frontline customer service agent who doesn't give a shit about their job, who just hits the who just hits the if-then scenarios in their toolboxes so they can get hundreds on their phone call scores, and then the supervisor does the same shit, but they don't care. They don't have any responsibility. They just say, this is all passed down from our corporate from corporate. And I just got to follow these guidelines. Nothing I can do. Oh, we'll take it under advisement. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. I don't know when they did, but they're at this point, they don't have to be nice. They're a mob. They don't give a shit about you. And now it's time for us to take them to task. It's time to push back, per se. And I don't like how this lockdown has kind of forced us back into our homes and forced us to... Now, I get it. This COVID kills a lot of people. So did SARS. So does bird flu. So does AIDS. So does cancer. So does obesity. So does drinking and driving. Okay? So does all these things. So does eating unhealthy. So does colon cancer. There's so many things that are out there that are killing people. So does the regular flu. So does a pulmonary embolism. There are so many things out there that can fucking kill you. But the fact that we listened this time, this fucking boomer virus, okay? Now I get it. We bought it hook, line, and sinker for a couple months, and it can't, and a lot of people, maybe we saved a lot of people's lives. But at what cost right now? At what cost right now do we decide, okay, life has to continue now? We got through April, okay, fine. But here's the thing. This shit was already here. I'm not gonna, don't lie to yourself. This shit started in November. It was already traveling through China. People were traveling from China all over the world, all through freaking December and January. This shit was already here. It already hit us. It's already peaked. It's gonna come down. A lot of us, I probably already had it. You probably already have it. It's already done the massive amount of damage. Right now, I'm just coming at you with what I think and what I believe. You don't think I'm right, you challenge me on it. But this shit has to end now. Okay? May 1st, people are getting anxious. People are getting angry. People are taking to the streets. People don't want to be fucking locked up in their houses anymore. People don't want to be social distancing anymore. A lot of people. Okay? We don't want to be... I was in freaking Whole Foods today, and I just saw these perfectly circular little... what do you call it? Pads, like, stuck to the floor. Practice social distancing. And the lines laid out and stuff. And then I drive by some of these other stores, and they have people waiting in lines. It gives me traumatic feelings. It gives me traumatic feelings where I'm starting to see a hint of communist culture. A hint of communist culture where people are standing in lines, waiting their turn, not complaining. Now, I get it. There is a time and place where you kind of have to follow the protocol in order to benefit others. But we are not those countries in which this shit show came from. I don't like it. I don't like having a mob controlling the fucking internet. I don't like having other countries responsible for the way we have to practice our culture now. When it comes to everybody wearing masks. Not wearing them correctly. Not wearing them for safety purposes, but mostly out of fear. Well, most of these people were never healthy to begin with. Who were never practicing good things. Were never practicing good hygiene. Now all of a sudden they're going to change their ways? It didn't happen after September 11th, and it won't happen now. It won't happen now. Maybe Darwinism has to take its place. Maybe survival of the fittest. Maybe a couple people just gotta go. And the ones that really do want to take care of themselves will take care of themselves. But 6 months from now, half the country will be hiding in fear under rolls of toilet paper. The other half, they'll be eating ass in a fast food drive-thru. That's just how it is. That's how it happens every single time. I don't want the corporate companies telling me what to do anymore. I don't. I've had enough hard battles of them telling me they can't do anything. So me cutting ties with as many of them as I can. Doing as much as I can without their help. This year was all about cutting costs as much as I could. And everybody's in fear of losing their job. So everybody's just trying to, at this point, follow the rules. To hold on to whatever they can. People are giving up on... Now's a chance to follow your dreams more than anything. More than anything. And still, people are not supporting small businesses. You see some news about the good shit that people are doing, but I don't see enough of it. I just see a lot of fear. I see a lot of fear. I see a lot of finger pointing. I see a lot of snitching. I see that the end... Is this the end of affection? The social distancing? Do we want to socially engineer this social distancing? First of all, I remember when I used to stand at the freaking grocery store and there'd be like the fucking weirdo guy right behind me. Right behind me. People who are already kind of distancing themselves, for the most part, from each other. You know, excuse me, pardon me, when's the balance going to return? Sometimes you have to push a little harder and get a slight tap back to kind of bring the balance into focus. People were already polite in the grocery stores. After all the fucking idiots came in and ransacked all of the toilet paper and paper towels. But is this going to be the end of affection? No more hugs in the grocery... That's the first thing I want to do. I want to go into the grocery store and hug somebody. That's the first... I want to go right into the fucking frozen food section and just hug somebody. I don't care who they are. I don't care how they smell. The end of hugs? No more hugs, no more affection, no more kisses, no more, you know, close proximity in public? Are we going to do what California's doing, snitching on your fucking neighbors? Sounds awfully German, if you get my drift. Are we going to go communist? Everything is going to be standing in line? Are we going to have capacities in stores? You try like a football day on like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning when everybody's rushing to the store to get food before the big game. We're going to have capacities now? Everybody has to stand out in line? Like this is the oil crisis of the 1970s? We're all going to have to stand in line and wait our turn and not complain at all, or we're going to lose our ticket in line to go inside the store? Do we have to really do that? Is that really what it's come to? Is everybody so scared simply out of paranoia of everybody's going to have to wear masks now? Like this is fucking downtown Beijing? Because because the pollution is so bad? We really worried? Or is this shit just eventually just going to take the most extreme of paranoid folk and drive them into their homes? And they'll do whatever the businesses and the large businesses and do whatever the news organizations tell them to do. In that case, fuck those people. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. The person who still has half a brain cell left, who knows that a lot of this is bullshit. A lot of this is bullshit. There are so many other things that you are more likely to die from, like a fucking staph infection or a car accident. Now, I get it. This is bad. This is a bad thing. We followed it for as long as we could. We did what we could, I would say. It's pretty, you know what? When you really think about it, it's pretty hard to shut down a whole country. 350 million people doesn't include the illegal, and it doesn't include the homeless. Okay? Doesn't include the unregistered, and fuck knows what we're doing with the people who are living on the streets. Pretty hard to shut down 350 million people. What are you going to... For the fact that we did what we could in some situations, but guess what? We're past that. This shit has already hit us like a wave. It's time to come out, and I'm calling it. People are getting annoyed. Businesses and companies, other ones that need their money, they're going to say, fuck it. We'll take the fine. We'll open up. Cops going to come up and shut us down? Is it going to be us versus the cops? Cops don't want to do this shit. Cops don't want to. A lot of the cops want to go back to doing real stuff. First of all, what the fuck are cops going out there and doing, giving people tickets right now anyways? Because you don't know. Here's the thing. You don't want to push the person who's desperate. Cops should not be giving out speeding tickets right now at all to anybody. No one. Because you don't know who you're going to roll up on. Somebody who just lost their job, somebody who just lost their 401k, somebody whose business is failing, somebody whose business is closed because it's, quote, non-essential. Somebody who's just worried or furloughed. You want to be wearing a gun and a badge rolling up to that person who's already on edge trying to figure out what the fuck they're going to do, and then you're going to roll and knock on that window? You have any idea how fast you were going, sir? Trying to get somewhere. Trying to get my shit together. I only got a little bit of time. You want to roll up on that dude? That dude's tense. Let that guy go. He doesn't need another fine and a court date on top of that shit. Let him go. Leave him alone. People need to get out. People are getting cooped up. You got 300 million people cooped up right now, telling them what to do and where to go. There are people just driving around just to drive around. People are going to the grocery store and going to Home Depot as a way to get out of the house. And first of all, why are certain places open up but like the beaches aren't? If you got other places open to the public, why aren't beaches? What does it matter at this point? It doesn't. This shit has already ran its course. Open it up. Get ready, open it up. I want this shit going by May. Alright? I'm not asking for opening day at Yankee Stadium. I'm asking for, let's start getting weddings going. Okay? Let's start getting everybody to have a chance to plan their weddings accordingly for late May. For June. Families miss each other. Some families aren't able to see each other. I want something. I want it, and I want it quick. Not for me. Not for me. I got my own shit to fight. Because these fucking companies are telling us what to do. I already told celebrities to shut the fuck up and go back in their houses. Because those guys are idiots to begin with. I don't do what celebrities tell me to do. And I don't like doing what companies tell me to do. And I will utilize as little as I can for what I need as far as companies are concerned. I do what I can with spare parts. There are some companies that I need because they're, quote, a necessary evil. A necessary evil is the equivalent to the mob. And that's it. But I don't want to deal with any other shit from these fucking companies that, because we're inside, we are at their beck and call. Whether it's Pandora, or Pandora's been great, first of all. But I'm just like the first one that came to mind. Netflix, Hulu, anything that's a streaming service. The cable companies, the satellite companies, the phone companies. If they're keep people in a little bit longer if they can. Ticketmaster with the shit that they just pulled. They don't care. They just want to keep their prices up. They just want to keep making their money while we get screwed. They don't care. It's all about greed. Take it as much as you can, give as little as you have to back. So that's why I always tell people, the stock market is there for you to have a say. The way you have a say is by buying shares in a company. That's how you have say. Shareholders get say. The more shares you buy, the more say you have. The more options you have within your home as far as internet services, the more say you have. If communities came together the way I've described it as far as sharing internet and other things like that, you'd find that companies like Cox and Spectrum and Comcast, the hurt would be on them. Governments should be afraid of their people, and so should companies. They should be begging us for their dollars. When they get too big, they start making the decisions on our well-being. I don't like that. And I don't like this social engineering that I'm getting glimpses of. The minute I see it, I have to call out bullshit. So starting next podcast, any companies, any complaints I see about large corporates. Now, there are companies out there. I had my car worked on recently. Now, it's a medium-sized company, so I'm not going to say who they are. In private, if you want to ask me about a company that you want to know about as far as reviews, if I don't deem it a big business, I'm not going to say who it is on the podcast, unless I really, really think it's important. But if it's a large business, a big corporate business, I'm opening fire, and I'm going to let you know exactly who the fuck it is, because it's important, because I'm going to need all voices to get involved. But for the most part, I had a little incident with my car. I didn't have an incident. Somebody else had an incident with it. So great. I had the bumper repainted and everything like that. But they tried to rush it out the door. There was some pinstriping on the car. They just pushed it out the door. They said, no, we don't do it. Right when I was taking delivery of the car, they said the car was done. Car's not done. Car's not done. So those little things, we don't do that. No, you should be fucking doing that. If you're caught, if it's somebody else's money, that the project, the product, the service needs to be completed. And if you're a company out there that's doing half-ass job and charging double job, then that bullshit needs to be called out. Its problem is a lot of these companies, if you go to file a complaint, it costs you money. If you want to file a complaint with like the FCC or the Better Business Bureau, it costs you money. It costs you money. Just going on Yelp and bitching like a white Karen isn't going to do it anymore. It's not going to work. Going on Facebook and complaining, not going to work anymore. You got to stop payments. You got to stop the money. Comcast doesn't give a shit. They're sending, if you're complaining about that and there's nothing else going and there's nothing else you can do, they send you straight to disconnect. They don't care. I'll send you straight to disconnect right now. There's nothing they'll do for. They will do nothing for you. You don't like it? Fuck you. That's Comcast. That's Comcast. Ticketmaster, same thing. You don't like it? Fuck you. That's exactly how they are right now. You don't like it? Tough shit. Nobody's competing with us. Nothing you can do about it. You don't like it? Go hermit. That's exactly what they're doing. And there are ways to make make changes, but it has to be discussed on a different platform. And because I don't discuss certain things on this podcast, like politics, I don't discuss it. I can't bring it up. There are changes that can be made, and we can discuss them We can discuss them on a different platform in a different way. There are ways to do it, but it's tough. It is difficult to make changes like this, and it takes a long time. But competition's a good thing. Now, where was I going with that? The idea that the social engineering thing, we need overall to get back out there. Life needs to start moving forward. We need to get out and go be normal people. The surge is happening right now. The curve is being flattened. We need to get back out there because I just don't like what I'm seeing. I don't need any more notes to tell me what I've read enough fucking history books and I've done enough social research to know that this shit has to come to a conclusion. Because when I look at it all and I do all my homework, we're fine. We're gonna be fine. As a vast majority of people, we're gonna be okay. And this shit has already hit. Comedians and entertainers have shook thousands of hands from January to February into early March. This shit already hit. And it already hit hard. People have already died from it and you don't even know. They weren't even diagnosed with it. They just died. They got sick and they died. This shit has already hit. It's already starting to die down. And I just see a lot of bitching and moaning and complaining, and I see a lot of fear. People need to get out. People need to start gearing up for May. People need to start gearing up for May. People need to start going out and doing stuff and forcing this shit to end. I see people all over the country. Minnesota, Texas, New Hampshire. California, I don't know. I don't know how it works over there. But people need to get out and be like, listen, we want to be open. Make it happen. People want to be open. They want to be active again. What else is going to be possibly spread? By hiding inside your house, you're making your immunity weaker to other things. You're not allowing your body to meet new infections and fight them off. You're basically, at that point, the boy in the plastic bubble. You're making yourself more sensitive. People already don't even know how to take care of their own sinus infections. That's an easy fix. Do you really expect them to figure out how to solve a fucking flu or coronavirus? No, they just wait to get sick and they wait for the doctor to fix it. Fuck you. Let's make smarter people. We're genetically engineering ourselves to stupidity because smart and successful people are having fewer kids. So we're already genetically making ourselves dumber. So now we're going to hide inside with rolls of toilet paper and wait for our immune system to become weaker. And then we go outside, we get super sick, we go to the doctors, we flood the ERs and the urgent cares. I might as well open up my own urgent care. Treat it like a fucking franchise. Instead of opening up like an Applebee's, I'll open up an urgent care. I'll open up like a convenient MD. I don't like the fear and the paranoia and the finger pointing and the snitching that I'm seeing. There's a lot of good stuff going on out there as far as people just kind of helping each other out and getting out of each other's way. And there's a lot of things I like seeing. You know, I like seeing lighter loads. I like lighter loads on the highways. You know, I like seeing fewer cars and shit like that. I like seeing people learning how to do things themselves instead of relying on other non-essential businesses to do it for them. Figuring shit out for themselves to be more self-sufficient. It's kind of the thing I run on. But this, you know, off-the-cuff commentary comes down to one simple thing. This shit has to come to a conclusion now. We need to start gearing up in the next 2 weeks to start reopening non-essential businesses. People need to start replanning for whatever ceremonies and things like that they were going to have for May. And people need to go out and be more social and be more friendly. And to be honest, by May 1st, those masks need to come off. If you're a healthcare worker, I get it. You people work in a corporate office all day long. You know how much shit goes through there? I guarantee you, if I get tested right now for COVID, I have it. But, no, not have it. I have the antibodies for it, which means it's already gone through my system. My immune system fought it off, beat it, and I have. And now I'm forever immune to that strain. That's it. I've already fought it. I've already beat it. We're done here. And I, quite frankly, don't want to see anybody looking at me fucking weird when I walk into the grocery store and I'm not wearing a mask. Fuck you. I don't care. I've already gone through this. I'm healthier than you'll ever be because I go through great lengths to take care of myself. And quite frankly, I need to start being cockier, more confident about the things I'm capable of doing. Because I just sit back and I look at all the shit that I'm doing, and it's like, you know what? I'm approaching genius level material by how I'm able to produce everything that I do. Everything that I do. From the computer repairs, to the video editing, to the potty. I'm doing all this shit, learn by doing. The way I'm able to take care of myself. My gym's closed. I figure it out. My gym's closed. I figure it out. I haven't packed on any weight. I'm not any weaker. Doing just fine. Doing just fine. I got plenty of shit to do. And people need to start people need to see what I'm doing and start learning from what I'm doing. Stop staring at me like I'm a fucking plague among humanity when I walk into a grocery store and I'm not hiding at home. The roof's down in my car. I'm walking around. I feel fine. What's your problem? You're not even wearing the mask right, stupid. I don't want to see you in the cereal aisle buying garbage with a mask on. You're already done for. Your casket was already built and you don't even realize it. And oh yeah, you think that mask is going to save you. Alright, champion. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. I think that's all I got. But this social distancing seems more like social engineering. I'm not going to stand in any fucking lines. I'm not. Okay? I go into my grocery stores. My grocery stores don't have lines. Anything that I see that has a line outside that looks like the Great Depression or looks like communist Russia, I'm not going there. You don't get my business. Any company that I can do without that wants to charge me money because that's how they do things, and if I can do without them, they're gone. Small businesses, supporting them as much as I can. Any small business that needs my money, whatever it is, because I already do a lot of shit myself. Small businesses, individual businesses, that's who I'm working with. That's who I want to work with. That's who I want to support. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. And now, going forward, I'm going to use this platform. Any large company, really large company, that's doing a disservice to its customers is getting called out on this podcast. I'm going to go in depth on all those, on it. I'm going to look for the shit. I'm going to find out what they're doing wrong, what they should do to fix it, but I'm going to call them out right here. And if you have companies, you have issues or horror stories about companies that you have spent time with, whether you worked for them or you subscribe to them and they're giving you shit, you can message me, I'll look it up, and I'll see what the issue is. Just like the Q&As and stuff like that. I'll voice my opinion about it. Just like I did with Ticketmaster last week. Same thing. Comcast, same thing. Large banks like Wells Fargo, same thing. Monsanto, same thing. Procter & Gamble, I think that's one of them. The one that, Old Spice, which is owned by Gillette, which I think is by Procter & Gamble. Same thing. I boycotted them. Starbucks, no different. McDonald's, the large fast food drive-through companies, the large fast food restaurants. I don't go to them either. It's paid dividends. So I'd strongly urge you to consider every single penny that you have and where it goes. And when it has to go there, putting pressure on those companies to do better. Because I push myself every day to do better at something. One thing, do it better. And there's very few companies that deserve my cash. There's a lot of good businesses out there, and quite frankly, they get my business. Good companies, they get my business. Okay. The other ones, if I don't have to give them my cash, I won't. I've done as much as I can, I think at this point, to pull back on the amount of money that I pump out to large corporate companies. Verizon, they don't pretend to be my friend. They sent me one stupid email about washing my fucking hands. Yeah, like I don't know how to do that. And that's it. I paid off my phone, I pay my bill, they don't bother me. No problems with Verizon. Internet's a whole nother issue. But I'm going to start being more forceful about the companies that are doing people wrong on this podcast. Yeah, you'll still get the Q&As. Yeah, you'll still get some of the other things, where I find an interesting article. You'll get that. But when I find a company doing wrong to people and money's involved, I'm going after you. I'm going after you. It's a responsibility of this podcast. And the more subscribers and the more people listening, the more I have a responsibility to them to let them know how they're getting fucked or how they're about to. So, I'm at 33 minutes. We're done here. We are done here for the day. These pre-recorded episodes will go up on Facebook.com/POS Sarcasm, shared to my personal account, and on YouTube. So, you can find me on YouTube at Positive Sarcasm Podcast, and you can find it on, you can also find me my regular videos on Positive Sarcasm, Facebook.com/POS Sarcasm. You can also subscribe to this podcast. Welcome all new listeners. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, CastBox, Spotify, anywhere where podcasts are available. TuneIn, of course. You can also download and stream them directly from PositiveSarcasm.com. I will get right after I'm done here. I'm going to go ahead and edit this podcast, get it right up on Positive Sarcasm on the YouTube channel and on Facebook. So, yeah. Until then, you can find me on all social media. You can find me on TikTok as well at Positive Sarcasm, Instagram at Positive Sarcasm, Positive_Sarcasm. Like I said, I'm trying this pre-recorded thing new. It's a little new, so I'm still working with it, but I think it's going to be fine. I don't have really issues. I am pretty confident that I can figure this shit out. So, until then, you can find me on all social media. Go ahead, subscribe, like, share. You can support the podcast by going to PositiveSarcasm.com. Click on the Robinhood banner if you want to get free stock in the market, or you can go to just click on the donate button, any amount. The Cash App is there for you as well. Until then, recorded live at the Spare Parts Studios. I will talk to you all in a few days. Any questions, or concerns, or comments, you can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. Until then, thank you for listening, watching, subscribing. I will talk to you all next week. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.